In. It's another glorious day, midday, for a state of being check-in. I am Zoe Black, hip hop artist out of the DMV. How y'all feeling today, man? Post it in the comments. Let me know how you feeling. If you're watching this live or you're watching this a year later, it doesn't matter. Post in the comments. Let me know how you feeling. Because, like I said, how you feel is going to inspire someone else to maybe help you out, or how you feel may inspire someone else who may be feeling down. You never know. So we're just here to build this community of stars who are about bringing light changing cultures. So, um, as we always do before we get into our focus point, let's go ahead and do a reset breath because I need it. I had an overwhelming morning. I woke up a little. My alarm didn't wake me up like I wanted it to this morning, but guess what? We are here for the check-in. So we're gonna do a reset breath because we need to release that tension and become present again. Y'all ready? Inhale, exhale. That one was about inhale, positivity, and exhaling all of the stresses that the day will try to impose upon you. So that was a definitely needed reset breath. Today's focus point, though, is something that I'm not speaking to y'all. I'm speaking to myself with this one, and some of y'all may need to hear this as well. This one is about commitment, right? Commitment. Commitment. My intention for this day and moving forward is to close out all the tabs that I committed to in the past and not have like this emotional sway of saying, I don't feel like it today. No, 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 no. We're going to close out those tabs and we're going to tackle our tasks for today and making sure that by the end of the day, if we haven't completed all the tasks on our checklist, be able to leave a little bit of, we're going to leave a little bit of a commitment requires training. And it is actually training, it's training with itself, right? Because throughout this process of life, whatever journey you on, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you got to be tested, or your mind, your mental will be tested. All of these things will be tested with the intention of trying to throw you off course. And the kind of person that I am, and the kind of person that I've been, and the kind of person I'm trying to get away from is that person who's always allowing those tests to distract me from my end goal. The reality is, we are all human. However, we all have superhuman power within us if we tap into it. And that requires some commitment. It's like going to the gym. You're not going to feel like going to the gym every day. But if you're committed to the body that you want, if you're committed to the lifestyle that you want, you're going to go to that gym. At the end of that, when you do what you need to do, how do you feel? 10 times better, right? So that's why it's like a training process. You got to train your mind. You got to train your emotions to never ever be derailed by these like things that pop up, especially the I don't feel like it bug. The I don't feel like it bug gets all of us. It gets me all the time. That's why these state of being check-ins are like a process of beating that. I have to fight back, like, nah, I'm going to do it regardless. I go to the gym regardless of how I feel. And I want to make sure I show up to these regardless of how I feel. And I'm working through that. I'm working through that. This is like you guys are saying this live. Me developing live through that process of saying, hey, we gonna do this every day. And I fail. A lot of times I fall, but we get right back up. That's the beauty in all of it. We get man, it's almost like guaranteeing your like success. Think about a relationship. If you're committed to that person, you're going to be dealt. You're going to times where happen. But the reality is, if you're committed to that person, you're gonna go through the trials and tribulations. You're gonna go through the tests. You're gonna go through those obstacles. You're gonna fight those get you to separate. And that's the beauty of commitment, because commitment definitely guarantees your success. It's saying that no matter what's going to get in the way, no matter what's going to try to stop me from getting to that end goal, it's like a running back. There's defenders there. I'm committed to getting to that end zone. Stand in my way if you want to. Stand in my way if you want to. I'm a Derrick Henry my way right through you. You feel what I'm saying? And that was a little NFL reference because I know it's the playoffs and so on and so forth. But hey, at the end of the day, it's the idea and the principles that's associated with that. You got to be committed to this stuff, man. Like there's nothing in life that's going to come with like ease. There's nothing that's going to come with this sense of like there's no tension or there's no pressure. There's no nothing. You got to be with your mind. And I know as an artist, that's something that a lot of artists struggle with. They struggle with this idea of, man, why aren't these things coming easy like they're supposed to? And it's like, if it was, then everyone would be doing it. I know you guys have heard that cliche statement all the time. It's so easy, everybody would be doing it. Are you committed to go through the hardship, or are you to the reality of comfort? Because comfort is going to set you back. Commitment is going to get you success. Being committed does require a level of maturity, because even within all the things that we're going to experience in life, you know, that whole like I don't feel like a bug. It's like my daughter has goes through that process, and as her father, I have to let her know like no, like I understand how you feel today, but you'll be grateful in 10 years when you've committed to these things that you say that you want to quit. Like she's learning guitar right now, and there's days where she doesn't want to feel she doesn't feel like doing the guitar, and I have to tell her like, baby girl, I know you may not want to do it today, and today you may not feel like it, and you may just be putting 10 minutes in it today, but I guarantee you in 10 years, when you see the progress that you made and you see how good you are and you see how natural it feels in your arms and you're just kind of being able to play how you want to play, you're going to be so much more grateful for that commitment and that process you put in. It doesn't require like these grand steps in life a lot of times. It just requires little steps every day. That's why commitment is so important. Because if you, it's like if you, I'm telling you guys about these tabs I need to close out for 2025. Had I just been committed throughout the process of doing them every day, I wouldn't be in 2026 with tabs left open. Now I'm sitting here in 2026 like, man, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. All right, it's important for me to do those things before I really kick things into high gear with this other stage, this other phase of life. So commitment is important. It changes your environment too. Once you're committed to something, the people around you, it can no longer like interfere with your process or where you're trying to get to. You set boundaries that he is committed to this thing that you were trying to get to. So let this be a moment that you hear what's important for you. If you're out there and you know you struggle with commitment, let this be a moment where you hear this, you soak it in and say, all right, what do I need to commit to? Do I need to commit to myself? Because that's a lot of things. That's one thing we struggle with is committing to ourselves first. Not in like a pretentious way, but in the way of really securing the things that are necessary for you. So please, guys, please, 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 please commit to yourself today, guys. All right? All right, let's go ahead and set our gratitude for today. You see, I am grateful for my ability to rediscover the areas that I need to commit to, right? First and foremost, myself. I need to commit to improving the areas of my life that I've struggled with, like one, being committed, and then two, being consistent on a daily basis and not allowing my emotions to derail me. But I'm grateful for I'm grateful for the ability to come into these spaces and talk about my commitment and hope that it'll inspire purpose in life. I hate saying this whole purpose thing, but that's neither here nor there. The beauty in all of this is that commitment just requires a decision. It doesn't require some life changing moment. It just requires a decision. Make the choice. The choice is yours. You can go with this, or you can go with. It's like nah. That was a hip hop rap. In on these daily check-ins. Future, I want to remind you all, man. Please, as we exit out of this daily check-in, please commit to yourself, because a lot of people are going to try to take those who don't have direction and give you direction, and then your time is going to pass and you're going to be wishing that you could have got that time back. My album being is available on all digital platforms, but we will be going direct to consumer, so you guys can support local artists or independent artists. The starting price is going to be, I think, like $1. We just want to make sure that we get it out to the people. All right. One love. We're going to be doing some longer ones of these daily check-ins, doing some different lives as well. I'm consistent basis where I can communicate with you guys as the whole has at hand. It's your boy Zoe Black checking in and checking out. So please commit to yourself today, guys. All right, and don't forget to